This program is proudly brought to you by the VAFA Live Official app. With live scores, team stats, player stats and much, much more. Everything you need for the VAFA in the palm of your hand. Download it from the App Store or Google Play now.
Afternoon, this is Jared Gleeson at Carey Sports Ovals, where this afternoon we've seen St Kevin's Old Boys have a comfortable win over Old Carey. Now, I've got with me this afternoon Guy Martin, the head coach of St Kevin's Old Boys, and Luke Andrews, who's made an outstanding comeback today after a long-term injury. Luke, I'll go to you first. Are you one of those players who counts the days since you last played senior footy?
If I did, I'd be a mathematician, because it's been at least 2 years, so just good to be back out there. Been a long time out, and it was a beautiful day this morning for me, so I woke up pretty happy and good to get a big win.
And you played remarkably well. You must have had a pretty good pre-season, because you just ran the whole game out today beautifully.
I actually wouldn't say I had a good pre-season. I was injured for most of the pre-season, but I think I got the confidence back with a few runs in the twos last couple of weeks. Feeling fit again, confidence back in the body, so yeah, I'm feeling good, and hopefully I'll keep my spot next week, but it's pretty competitive up top at the moment, so we'll see.
And Guy, to you then, look, big game next week against St Bernards, and a difficult game to take something away from today because it was a bit one-sided, but you seem to run a lot of players through the midfield today.
The takeaway, I think, was the start. We had a big emphasis on the start and starting well and getting on top early, and we did. Yeah, there's some moments, and I wasn't really happy throughout the third quarter. I think we got a bit ahead of ourselves and started trying to get cheap goals out the back and overusing it. But look, sometimes that happens when you're well ahead on the scoreboard. So I'm not too disappointed. It would have been nice to be really, ruthless and stick to our guns for the entire game. But the fact that we started so strong when it was 0-0 at the start, that's probably the most the best takeaway for me.
Yeah. And this week you seem to have the luxury. You actually dropped some players to the seconds as players came back in, or just reassigned them. The list seems pretty robust at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, look, you alluded to it. There's probably 4 guys that played in the reserves that played last week, and they were really stiff. They're not. It sounds cliche. They're not getting dropped, but certain guys have to come back, or come back from VFL, or come back from injury, and the old adage of 26 doesn't go into 22. And realistically, there's probably 30 that I would happily played at the moment, and even more. And we saw in the Twos game, we were pretty impressive in our reserve. So it's hot for spots. But one thing with the SCOB, and we noticed it last year, it changes a lot, and especially with the number of VFL guys. In 5 weeks' time, 3, 4, 5 that played today might not be with us, a couple of injuries. So all of a sudden, there's 7 more spots open. So whilst it's tough now, it could be very different in 2 or 3 weeks. So we just got to take it, week by week.
And it's likely to be quite a different game next week. What sort of emphasis will there be training during the week for Bernards next weekend?
On the spot here. No, nothing specific about St Bernards as such. We sometimes watch a bit of their games, but I'm a big believer of us just doing what we need to do right. If we do what we want to do really well, he's giving me on here. we don't. That's the number one focus. And I think if we looked at their scores today and their goals, a lot came from errors, like basics, fundamental skill errors, drop marks, silly decisions. It wasn't so much that we broke down or they, ran through us or went through us. We made some mistakes, so we just got to do the basics right.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, guys, congratulations, and Luke, particularly to you after a great return game. Now handing over to James with the coach of Old Carey.
Thanks, Jared. I'm now joined by coach of Old Carey, Michael Tarrant. Michael, pretty classy St Kevin's outfit today that you got beaten by. What do you reckon the positives are you can take out of this game?
Look, I thought there were plenty of positives. I thought our pressure, we didn't sustain it for long enough, but pressure at time was really good. Forced a few turnovers. Our first tackles were okay at times. I think what you can learn out of it is that's what everyone aspires to be, St Kevin's. They were not much we could do today. They were just beating us all over the park. Once you allow that run off, they were really hard to stop. So they were more credit to them.
And it feels like I'm almost talking about him every week, but how good was Mark Locke today? He got 40 touches today through the midfield. How important was he today, especially given you had a few outs in? I noticed Will Mitchell wasn't playing, so how important was he today?
I think Mark's something that we need to aspire to, just the maturity that he's showing. I think what it really stands out to me is his maturity compared to a lot of the other boys. So he's a terrific leader for young men, and I'm sure we're on the right pathway with him at the helm. So look, just terrific person and a great game.
I'm sure you would have had to think about playing on Jared Waite during the week. He had 6 goals for, only 1 goal after half time. Did you change the way you approached that after half time?
Oh, look, it's really hard because, no disrespect to Jared, a terrific player, but let's look at the way that they bring the ball into him. So I thought our pressure outside the arc was a little bit better at times. So, I think anyone's going to kick 6 goals for at St Kevin's if you're planted in that area each week and the way that they move it. So we had a lot more to worry about than Jared Waite, because to me it was how the ball was getting to him. So we were trying to, I think everyone that we tried to look at, once we looked at one, another one seemed to get better. So that was it was a lot. But thanks to the VAFA app, it was great to follow who was leading possession winner, because it really helped me out today.
Awesome, thank you. That's all from us down here at Carey, where Carey have gone down to St Kevin's by 98 points. Thank you.
This has been another Complete Sports Management production.